Now, abuse is a tough battle for many people around the world. Victims of abuse suffer in silence because they believe they deserve it or live in fear of their abuser. And in those situations, it can be very easy to lose hope.
But despite her trials and tribulations, our next guest has stayed strong and proven what the power of perseverance can achieve. She is now an international speaker, social entrepreneur, and human rights activist. Please welcome to the stage, Samra Zafar.
Hi, V-Day. So I want to tell you a story about a little girl born into a conservative family in Pakistan. Just like you all, she had dreams. While her friends dreamt of getting married, she dreamt of going to Harvard, getting an education, having a great career. But at 15 years old, she was told that she was going to marry a man living in Canada. At that time, she thought if she married him, she could go to school there. So the day before her wedding, she met him, a stranger 12 years older than her. A day later, she was married, and a few months later, she arrived in Canada. Okay, she thought. It was the first step in achieving her dream, maybe. But sadly, it was a nightmare. She was not allowed to leave the house, make any friends. She was treated badly, humiliated, and insulted every day by her husband and his family. And they told her that she deserved it. So when her husband hit her for the first time, and the first bruises appeared on her body, she told herself that she deserved that too. Imagine believing that you deserve all the bad things in the world. It sounds like a story from a book, right? But this was actually my life. I was in the darkest place for a very long time and saw no way out. After 5 years of marriage, my father died, and I went back to Pakistan for his funeral. I decided I wasn't going back to my husband and his family. But because I didn't have an education, a job, or now a father, I was told that I had to go back because otherwise I'd ruin my family's reputation. So I returned to Canada, but this time with a plan. Every night, after finishing my house chores and putting my kids to sleep, I went to my room and I studied. And I graduated from high school through distance learning. To pay for university, I started babysitting and tutoring because I couldn't go out and get a job. And by the age of 26, after 10 years of marriage and 2 kids, I had saved enough for my first year tuition. I finally started university. And I was pulling straight A's. My professors were announcing my name in their classes when I got 100%. You guys are awesome. And everyone wanted to be my friend, and I couldn't understand why. I mean, at home, I was being told that I was worthless and useless and didn't deserve to be loved or respected. So why would anyone want to be friends with me? And one day, as I was walking on campus, I saw a sign with a bunch of questions on it. Do you feel intimidated? Do you feel like you've lost your voice? Do you feel like you can't have opinions? Are you always living in fear? I made an appointment, and a few days later, I was sitting across from my counselor telling her my story and asking her, can you tell me what's wrong with me? Her response changed my entire life. She said, it's not your fault. No matter what you do not deserve to be treated this way. So 2 years later, by the age of 28, I gained enough strength and knowledge to take my girls and leave my husband. He was arrested, and I was officially divorced. But instead of support, sadly, I faced a lot of negativity from my community. My family no longer spoke to me. I was told I did something shameful and I would never be able to survive on my own. I was called a shameless woman, a homewrecker, an unfaithful wife, a bad mother. There were many days when I felt like giving up, but I kept going, one day at a time. I got support at university, lived on campus, worked 4 to 5 jobs, took care of my daughters, worked hard, studied hard, and then finally, I graduated as the top student in the entire University of Toronto. I won 17 awards and scholarships, finished my 2 degrees, and now I have a wonderful career, and I'm happier than ever before, and I love myself, and I love this country. Eventually, my story was published in a newspaper, and my social media was flooded with messages from other victims of abuse. That's when I realized that this isn't just my story. It is the story of millions of people who are afraid, who feel they have no power or choices, they're suffering in silence. So I started mentoring many of these women who reached out to me, and I saw the difference that human connection and friendship made as they successfully changed their own lives. One of the women started her own business, another is earning a 6-figure salary, another is working at a huge accounting firm, and I thought to myself, imagine how many lives we can touch if we can create a network of mentorship and friendship for abuse survivors so they never have to feel alone. So I started a nonprofit organization, Brave Beginnings, where we will work with survivors of abuse, pair them up with a mentor, and help them build better lives. Every day, I receive hundreds of messages from people across the world who are inspired to believe in their own dreams and power because of my story. In March, this is my favorite one, I got an email from a man in Pakistan, and this is what he said. I have a 17-year-old daughter who's supposed to get married next month. I have decided to cancel her wedding and send her to university after reading your article. I had the opportunity to share my story with hundreds of high school girls on a recent Me to We trip to Kenya. Many were in similar situations or knew people in similar situations. Together, we shared our stories along with our tears and our smiles. But most importantly, we shared messages of hope. Day, despite what you're going through, don't ever give up. Believe in your own power. Speak up and break the silence. Work hard for yourself, believe in your dreams, but remember that with success comes responsibility. So pay it forward and give back. Because there are tons of people out there that need you to pave a path for them. Even the smallest actions on your part can have a life-changing impact on someone else. Thank you, Wide. Love you all.